Hey guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at question 4 from 2020's paper 1 from the QCAA syllabus. And as you notice, I'm splitting up all the questions into single videos as well to dive a bit more detail into each of them. And plus, some people might only struggle with a couple questions anyway. So rather than having the full exam, they could go to these individual videos if they'd like. In saying that, the full exam video is still up. Link is in the description below. If you need a custom external exam before your actual one, if you need like another practice paper, link is also in the description below for one I've made myself if you need some extra practice. And yeah, if you have any questions at all in this video, just leave a comment below, but let's get straight into it. So, question 4 for the multiple choice. Pulse rates of adult men are approximately normally distributed with a mean of 70 and a standard deviation of 8. Which of the following choices correctly describes how to determine the proportion of men that have a pulse greater than 78? Okay, and here, what we have to look at straight away is what they're offering here. So here they're talking about Z-scores, and they're talking about area to the left or area to the right. So let's actually work it out for this situation here. So our normal distribution, if I can draw, oh actually that was a pretty good one. The average would be in the center here, okay? So that's 70. Our standard deviation is 8. So what we've got to understand about a normal distribution is a couple things. One, if you're one standard deviation on either side, that would be 68% of the data. So for example, if I'm at 8 plus 70, that would be 78. And if I'm at 70 minus 8 at 62, there is 68% of men that have that heart rate or whatever. Okay, between 62 and 78, 68% of men in this particular thing here. Another thing as well is 2 standard deviations. So on either side would be 95%. And then 3, if you ever have to go that far, I believe is like 99%. Okay. So that's what we need to know about normal distributions as well. We also need to understand what a Z-score is. Okay. A Z-score tells you how far you are from the mean pretty much. Okay. On either side. A Z-score can be calculated using this. Z equals X minus mu over the standard deviation. Another thing to remember as well with this particular topic as well, when you're exactly one standard deviation away, that has a Z-score of 1. If you're 2 standard deviations away, that is a Z-score of 2. Now, it depends on which side. So here, this would be a Z-score of 1. This would be a Z-score of -1. So here it's 1, -1, depending on which side you are, okay? And then the center, it'd have a Z-score of 0, okay? This one would be a Z-score of 2, -2, and if you ever have to go that far, this would be 3, -3. Now, for our question here, we're only going to need a Z-score of 1, and I'll show you why as well. We don't need those guys there, but that's another thing to take consider if you do need it in this question. Here, we are talking at greater than 78. So when they're after the proportion of men that have a heart rate greater than 78, they're after this area here. Now, we have said pretty much what that percentage is. So if you needed that exact percentage, you could work it out because that's 68%. The entire area would be 1. So it would be 68 minus 1 divided by 2. Now in this question here, they're not talking about that. They're saying the area to the left or right pretty much. Now here, we know this has a Z-score of 1. If you weren't sure, you could use this formula if you didn't remember that either. So here, Z-score is your data point minus your average divided by your standard deviation. So if we did this for 78 here, which is what they're talking about, so I'll have to get rid of that and move that up. Yoink. So here, the Z-score, so let's go 78, our data point minus the average, which is 70 over 8. That gives you 8 over 8, which gives you a Z-score of 1. So straight away, we know the Z-score is going to be 1 at 78. So straight away, we know it's not C or D, okay? Now here, they've said area to the left or area to the right. So here, if we're at Z-score of 1, if you want the greater than 78, it's going to be the area to your right. So here, the correct answer here is going to be B, not A. The difference between them is this answer would be talking about all of this, which is actually less than 78. So if they just switched that word for less than instead of greater than, then it'd be A instead. But in this question here, the correct answer here is going to be B, because they've basically said at 78, there's a Z-score of 1, and if they're saying greater, that means the area to the upper half, aka the right-hand side. Okay, and yeah, that's that one finished. If you had any questions about this one here, leave something in the comments. Otherwise, I would I would say this is a pretty easy question. If you found this one quite tricky, study normal distributions a bit more, particularly with z-scores and maybe the standard normal. If you need another practice exam, check out the link in the description below if you finished all the ones from QCAA. It's just an extra practice one I've made for everyone. And otherwise, yeah, I'll see you in the next video looking at question 5.